So today I was asked to speak at an event today that focused on the redevelopment of the Rovers Park Village federal project. I was asked to speak to tell my story, and that story was from my journey from high-paying positions to public housing to transformation. Let me start with a little background information. My background includes over 35 years and working with community development corporations and poor communities in both Tampa and Baltimore. I received extensive training from lenders, developers, investors, government agencies, federal agencies, the whole gamut. I had some really good jobs. In 2008, the organization that I was working for, which was the West Tampa Community Development Corporation, had dissolved. From 2008 to 2013, during that period of time, I was evicted from an apartment, and from there, I moved into a mobile-like housing where you had a lot of people that were experiencing substance abuse as well as mental health issues. Near the end, and living in those units, the lights was cut off. And for 30 to 40 days, I lived without electricity until I moved into the public housing, specifically the Rovers Park Village. Shortly after moving into Rovers Park, I was diagnosed with lung cancer. The lung cancer I had, most people only had a 15 to 20% survival rate. 1/3 of my lung was removed as a result of it. In addition to that, I had COPD, which reduced my breathing by 50%. When I got into Rovers Park, before I got into Rovers Park, I started the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development, which is a 501c3 organization in 2011. This was before moving into Rovers Park. When I moved in 2014, I had an opportunity to change the narrative. The Center for Nonprofit and Community Development provided techno support and effective skill sets to start up and existing nonprofits to increase, strengthen, and build their capacity. It focused on curating a national model and best practices. Since being in public housing to date, the organization has provided technical assistance to over 2,500 nonprofits, government agencies, faith-based goods, faith-based groups, businesses, and individuals. Keep in mind, all this is done while living in public housing. That's why I was asked to give the presentation today. In addition to the training to over 25 different organizations nationally, I also assisted in providing the paperwork for over 330 nonprofits to get started from around the nation in 15 different states. All of this was done by living in public housing. I have met some of the smartest people that you can meet living in public housing. I always tell folks that I meet that you shouldn't be judged by your monetary worth, but the value that you bring to the table. So let me share with you the presentation and some of the things that's going on in the community that I live in. Let's get started.
The Tampa Bay area to create a community resource hub for local park community.